Okay, so we're watching Kyle Kalinske and whatnot on the Kyle Kalinske show, Secular Talk, and okay, well I'm working on the game, listening to him, teachers listening to him, and he's going over Forbes, what was it, Forbes magazine, how they went over the Democratic candidates who has a high count of billionaire donors, and that billionaire donors, you'll find that like you have like Beto O'Rourke got like 9 or 11. On average, they all have around 8 to 11 billionaire donors. Now now the reason the billionaire donors is also important is because they are. Excuse me, I got a cough. It's bad. Um, what it's saying is these billionaires are giving to them. So what are the chances of these candidates being on your side in general? The billionaires, when they give to these candidates, they'll also say, hey, run all the ads you want. You obviously say or have a certain thing about you that we want to support. And I've noticed for the longest, there's been this billionaire class terminology. And it's been bugging me because there's a thing called nuance. There's a thing called you need to check yourself. And Kyle Kalinski's fucking up.
And here's the thing. He said that they're donating to the campaign. The cap to donate to the campaign is $2,800. You can be middle class or upper middle class and not be a billionaire and still be able to donate $2,800. Now I understand if it was the super PAC, they can drop tons of cash to the super PAC and they can have a whole wealth of money to run ads or whatever. And of course, then the billionaires can say, I gave you $1 million in your super PAC, so when it's tax time, you need to keep me in mind. Okay, I get that. But these billionaires are donating $2,800 at the most. They could have just dropped $1,000 on them. They could have gave them $500, enough to buy a whole bunch of pens for distribution. We don't know how much they gave, one. Two, we don't know who the billionaires are. And three, we don't know what the billionaires stand for. Now, if they were all Epstein, okay, I can see you having a case, but we don't know. We don't know how progressive they are. We don't know if they worked their way up to $1 billion. We don't know if they got this shit dropped on their face like Donald Trump. We don't know the background, so we can't just say, oh, billionaires donated money to this candidate. This candidate must not be for shit, because them billionaires, they ain't worth a goddamn. That's not fair.
Now, it sounds like what it's going to sound like is we're advocating for money in politics. The entire bone of this that all the dogs want is money generates revenue. That's capitalist society. Money generates profit. Money generates power. Money generates people liking you. If Trump was not a billionaire in his own rhetoric, not saying actuality, but his own rhetoric, then people would have gave him like a third look, not the first look. Billionaires have contributed lots of money into lots of places that has only destroyed this country. That doesn't mean, as Kyle and Jank and others are putting it, every single billionaire is an out-of-touch, wealthy person that's only trying to protect their money and gain money to hoard offshore. Now, generally speaking, yes, billionaires, they just don't care. Whatever generates them more profit is what they want. So they'll side with the Republicans no matter how egregious that they are, no matter how devastating they are to the general public and society and environment. So long as they get to make more money, they are in for the ride. They don't care that they're suffocating and they need to buy Perrier to breathe. All they want is more money. That's what they've been raised to think. That's what this society rewards them for. Every little scrum bug out there that sits in their home mad that they ain't got much, but saying, I'm happy because we have at least this, they look at billionaires and millionaires and stuff and they praise them. There was even, and it's just, to quote it back then, Will Smith, all right, in one of his songs, he said, when I was broke, no one could seem to support me, but now I got money, now everybody want to give me stuff free. You know, and he was like, save that for the next man. You know, because he can afford it. Don't sit there and say, oh, you got all this money. Let us give you this for free. And people might say, well, you're quoting that one thing, Will Smith doesn't mean anything for today. When it does, when 2016 rolled around, CNN gave Donald Trump over $1 billion of free advertising because Donald Trump is so popular, he is so wealthy, he is so on the Republican side, and everyone loves him, that they gave him that free advertisement all over the place, hoping that Donald Trump will pay them back in terms of, I like CNN, I love CNN, which he did until CNN started telling the truth, and then Trump was like, they suck. Just like Trump got free advertisement on Fox News, on Fox TV all over the country. It's not just in one spot. Well, Fox News generated billions of dollars in free ads for Trump, and Trump, in return, did what? He spoke highly of everything about Fox News. Everything. So, yeah, if you ain't got money, nobody wants to help you. But if you're wealthy, if you're rich, then everybody want to give you shit for free. That is the problem. And that doesn't mean that every billionaire is like that, but it is an easy, safe assumption.
And see, and that is part of the problem. Just like it's an easy, safe assumption that all immigrants are murderers and rapists and dirty. And it's an easy, safe assumption that all black people are immigrants. And it's an easy, safe assumption that all white people are racist.
No, because that's absolute irrationality. That's fear. That is tribalism. And a lot of it, some of it isn't fear. Some of it is, people don't get it. They don't think about what drives a lot. I've been in that mode. You want to be a part of something. You feel good. You feel special. That's how cults are formed. You know, like the QAnon thing. The cults are formed because we hit the epitome of, of being the apex predator on this planet. We've got nothing left to conquer but ourselves. So all we do is find these little niche groups, these little cliques, and try to be better than somebody else. Yeah. And being better than the blacks or the Spics or the Jews or all that stupid shit, honestly, generated by what? The European invaders and their descendants. You want to be real about it, that's the way this shit rolls. Not all billionaires are out of touch, money grubbing, racist or whatnot, anything. And Sidra's right. That's the way this country, the way people are viewing things. Yeah, it's a safe assumption that all black people are evil, dangerous, clutch your pearls, white people. We're going to come get you from across the street in broad daylight with lots of people in traffic. We get out of our cars all jacked up and having a stroke and get tased and ran over and stuff. We're naked in a yard, mental health issues with no weapons on us, but we get shot because you just never know. We might put our dick on you or something. I mean, hey, black people, we're just dangerous, Now, we haven't really killed anyone, really, white people or anyone else. No, we haven't really done that, but you know what? We're the ones that's going to get it done and just murder every single human being on this planet because reasons. And the Mexicans, what you call Spics, that fucked up word, that real fucked up word, fuck y'all. Yeah, they're going to come over here as an invasion in a caravan, and they're going to breed with every single person here. The black women, the white women, because you know what? There are no Mexican women coming over. It's just the men that's going to breed us all out of existence. And they're going to take over our financial districts. Wait, no, they can't do that. They can't. Because when they come here, all they can do is what? If you ever see them walking around, what are they doing? Carpentry, lawn care, dishwashing, line cooks and stuff. That's what you see. Or they got their side hustles going on where they got to have their own bank because traditional banks won't accept their money too much. Just think about that. And the Jewish people, they come here trying to escape murder. Oh, wait, but they want to come over here and take over the financial industries, right? But then these white people, what they've done, these racist white people, they said, wait a minute, you're going to escape them? No. You can work in the banks, but you can't do anything else. So then you force them to work in banks as accountants and other things like that, and own certain banks, and then say, you know what? You're in charge. You're in charge of all these things. You're trying to take over. It's a Zionist society. Oh my goodness, they're going to replace us. They're going to replace everyone. It's the same shit. Even these billionaire companies, you're gonna start making certain money. You know what happens? Certain people start recognizing you, and when those certain people start recognizing you, then they expect certain things from you. So then you have to generate more money. You got to generate more profit. You got to generate more for them, and then it's worse for the shareholders, because if you got a big company, you got to do what those shareholders say, so the shareholders can make more money, and you have to be basically their slave. But then you're making so much money, it doesn't really matter. So it doesn't matter if your oil pipeline destroys thousands of acres of land that can't grow any more food that we're going to need to eat so we can live. It doesn't matter that your fracking is destroying, aquifers, aqueducts, and things like that, rivers and small lakes, and reservoirs that we use to drink the water of. You don't care about that. You just care about your own shit. Make your money, damn everyone else. And that is the problem why a lot of people have with billionaires, racists, white supremacists, and people like that. Because they do nothing but ruin society. And while Kyle Kalinske is grouping every single billionaire into something that is absolutely negative, that is false. Because not every billionaire is like that. There are some billionaires, they say, I don't give a damn if I'm taxed 96% like it was during FDR's time. Tax the hell out of us because we can afford it. Reduce the profit, reduce the greed, end the inflation, stop the bullshit, stop the financial industrial complex that's going on, and you have great change. That's what it takes. And grouping all billionaires isn't going to help the cause because it alienates the billionaires that are trying to help this country. It alienates the billionaires that are going to, and millionaires that are going to donate to these candidates and say, let you do what you do, because no matter what you do, no matter how much I'm taxed, I will always be all right. Those level-headed, forward-thinking people are not socialists. They are social. There's a big difference. And socialism, if it was so bad, other countries would not have their own versions of Medicare for all or free health care and things like that. Bernie Sanders says this stuff quite often. Kyle Kalinske, Cenk Uygur, myself, we say this stuff quite often. Being decent, having a level-headed mind. They're saying it, I'm saying it. Conquering Thought says this. You can also see this stuff on Pro-Social Pessimist. He talks about capitalism and how jacked up it is. So make sure that you get your information from more than just one goddamn person. There's too many people out there. Stop giving authority to the ones that have the most subscribers or the ones that you hear about the most. Listen to other people. Listen, you give them a chance and you get to spread better information and get things from a different light. Bernie Sanders went on the Joe Rogan podcast. All this bullshit debates of should he, shut up. He went on there, he's got a massive Republican reach. So you go up there and you talk to the enemy. Why? Because when you talk to the enemy and you can persuade, because that's all politics and anything else in life is persuading one person to think from one way to the other, which is a form of, recruitment for tribalism. What you do is you get the chance to, their audience get to hear you. Compare it to what they have heard. Compare it to what they're going through. Compare it to what they've seen and heard from other people and see on TV. And then they can say, wait a minute. Yours make sense. Or they could say, yours sound crazy. Therefore, I'm not doing this. They could say, Bernie Sanders, you sound crazy. No way, no. Or they could say, whoa. He's explained things. It sounded great. I don't have to listen to the Joe Rogan Experience with Bernie Sanders because I'm already a Bernie fan. I already like some of Elizabeth Warren. That's pretty much where it ends. So when it comes to talking about people, you can't pigeonhole them into your own beliefs or anti-systems. You have to listen to them all best that you can. I don't like most of the Democrats in this race, but I've listened to them. And while they will have a lot of things I cannot stand, they will have some or a few things that I think should be pushed to the limit. And those things should be placed in our policies for this country. And a good president, a great president, will actually do their best to make sure those things happen and push towards the right things. Just like somebody that is good or great when it comes to these podcasts, they will not sit there and tell you to not go with anything as a blanket statement. They will tell you that there are some good things out there. All right? And no, this is not like Trump saying Mexico, the country itself, their president, their leaders and whatnot, send their worst. And yet, I assume there's some are good. No, it's nothing like that. So get that out your mind. And if you're trying to think it or use it, fuck you, get fucked, fuck off, bye-bye, don't care. Go away. This is not a game. This is real. Every decision made in politics and on Capitol Hill, around your area, has an effect on your life. And if all you're worried about is your money, then you have failed your life. You got to think about the air you breathe, the water you drink, the food you feed on and feed your children, the products that you buy, what they're laced with, the paints that you buy, or what your home is painted with, what it's laced with. You have to think about all of this. So some billionaires will donate for the cause of removing this stuff, of getting better legislation. And it's good if you can, if you know them or know where they are, to call those billionaires out and praise them for their forward thinking. That is what one should do. And I understand what Kyle was doing. Yes, he's lumping them all because you just can't call out little bitty individual billionaires or millionaires and say they are for this. But Forbes was calling it out, saying who has the most billionaires is the best candidate. When no, Bernie has zero. Bernie takes small donations, and it's clear that no billionaire wants to back him right now. As of Forbes, what they're saying, we don't know in total, but right now no billionaire wants to back Bernie. Obviously Bernie is too forward thinking for the billionaires, and Bernie is to the right of me. I just want y'all to know that Bernie is to the right of me, because I would shut this shit down the right way and reboot it, and people just have to deal with it, because people need to live better, be better, raise their children in a safe environment where it is breathing, feeding, playing, and whatnot. And I mean absolute, not have to go outside and worry about the cops knocking their heads off for a quota or chasing them down and things like that. There's too much I can go over. But I don't want this to go over 20 minutes. I just wanted this to be said. I did my rant. I did my thing. Please leave your comments. Please like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. I could use the help. And if you got a channel out there that you talk about politics and other stuff, you know, people like Conquering Thought, people like Freaking Frugal, you know, the Frugal family, I love them. They're adorable and cute. You know, you got a channel out there like Pro Social Pessimist, let me know. When I get a new subscriber, I check out their channel. When you post a link down there, will post a link or you leave comments and I haven't seen you before, most likely I'm going to check your channel. I don't have many subscribers, so I can do that. And if I had a lot, I would do it slower. I care. So I share. This is Cedric Kennedy for Comparative Reasoning. And Sidra Owens for The Wicked Orchard and Comparative Reasoning. Thank you for listening.